Tonight, Be'ez Hashem, Yud Daled Tevis, Yud Daled Shvat. It's the yard site of some big tzaddikim. First of all, today Yud Gimel was the yard site from the Heilige Lechevitsche, the Gamatl Lechevitsche, as well as tonight already is the yard site from a great tzaddik that lived in our generation, Benil Frisch, which we'll talk about a little bit. The yard site tonight is a big Svardi tzaddik who wrote a song that's become very popular by the Ashkenazim. The Svardi probably been singing for quite a while, but Yitzchak Abu Chatzira wrote the famous song Ufa Eshkona, which is full of dveikis, full of gaguim to the Eibishter, big tzaddik. As well as it's going to be some Tu B'Shvat. And tonight I wanted to focus on a little Nakuda, which first we'll start with the Nakuda from the Lechevitscher, because today was his Yortzeit, Yud Gimel, and that is the Nakuda that every single Yid in the world has Emunah, true Emunah. Every Yiddish soul has real Emunah, pure Emunah. Somebody will say, no, what are you talking about? I wish I have Emunah. I have to work on my Emunah. All true. But the Metzias is that every Yid, Lechevitscher said, has the greatest Emunah in his neshama, in his heart. Sometimes it's covered over, it's cloudy a little bit. But through being mekushet to tzaddikim, the tzaddikim could infuse and empower and smash away those blockages, those clouds that are blocking the seeds of Emunah from being, from working, from being bepoil, mamish. And I saw it from the Nesiv Shalom that he said that the Lechevitscher, this is Bechlal, this is the Derech already, the Baal Shem Tov, but he says that there's a name of the Lechevitscher, but this is also even before already and even after. But the Lechevitscher was a big Baal Moifis, and he used to proverb big Moifsim in order for the Pshutayam, for the simpletons to be Mechazik their Emunah in the Eibishter. And therefore, when somebody had a big Moifis being done for them, so Memela, they were Mechazik themselves, wow, this is a Basar V'Dam that could poil, then Avad the Eibishter could poil. The Heilige Reb Nachman from Breslov, he had a derech that he wanted every Yid to know that they could be their own poil Yeshus. The Yid goes out to the field or whatever it is that he goes and he sits and he davens to the Eibishter, but poil makes his boidedus and he asks Hashem, b'tzmimus b'shitas, whatever he asks for anything. So then a Yid can be zoichet to poil big Yeshus, tremendous Yeshus, real Yeshus. When Yid davens to the Eibishter and Yid is zoichet to be able to talk his heart out to the Eibishter, so then what happens is a Yid is zoichet to poil Yeshus. Karev Hashem l'chol karev l'chol asher yikro l'emes. But Avada, the idea of being close to tzaddikim, and following their Torah that they give over, and following their eitzes, and being mekasher with their drachim, and their or, and their gewaldige lechtigkeit that they give over, memela, so that itself infuses, like the way the Heilige Baal HaTanya already taught us, the idea of being mekushet to tzaddikim, yeah? Yeah, that's kedai for a Yid to be zoichet to have true kashrus and be able to really learn and connect to the Eibishter Bemis. So I want to also share a little bit now the Nekuda Mitis that the Heilige Yoshu Divrei Emes brings. He brings a Nekuda as follows. A Yid, Avada, every Yid has a Emunah, and every Yid has to work. Our whole essence over here is to be able to chazer over and over the animamins and live it and infuse it in our essence and into our minds. L'mandas, kol ha'mayoretz ki shem Hashem, nikra alecha. Yid has to know, be'emes and be'emes, that the Eibishter is Malachal it's Kevoide, and the Eibishter is always with them, and the Metzias Amitis of the world is only the Eibishter. That's 100% true. But comes the Yetzer Hara, and the Yetzer Hara likes to tell people the false truth. What is that? What's the false truth and what's the real truth? The false truth has some truth to it. And what is the Chazal already tell us? You can't have any sheker that doesn't have a little bit of emes. It's got to have some spark of emes, and they find maybe the emes is a little tiny dose and everything is blown out and they're running with sheker. But the Nakuda is the Yetzer Hara comes to you and says, what, you think you're a real Maimon? You have real Amun in the Eibishter? You think you're a real Smal Avoid all of a sudden? You're probably big Avoidist, like you're somebody big, you're somebody great. And then slowly what happens is that person starts listening. He says, no, I really know, I'm not so great. I'm sure I'm not the biggest Maimon. I'm sure I'm not a Maimon as big as other people out there. And then the Yetzer Hara comes in greater and gives a bigger knock and a bigger patch. And he says, not only are you think you're convincing yourself for something, but you really think the Eibishter appreciates your avodah? Do you really think that the Eibishter appreciates the Nakuda? Well, do you think that the Eibishter appreciates your Limud Torah? The Eibishter, he wants from the bigger people, from the Rabbanim, from the Gedolim. And a person starts making fall into false and false neshbainis, chap, there's a little bit of truth to what he's saying, because I know where I'm really holding. Everybody, when they have to be able to say the emes, and a person makes a true cheshbon and nefesh, and becomes from the Mor the cheshbon and sees, a lot to fix, a lot to perfect myself, and maybe this voice in my head that's telling me that maybe I'm not the best, that maybe I'm really, there's probably some serious truth to it. L'chayra, I have to be able to mean it for real. I probably don't mean it so for real. And he's the srashal, the person chas v'chalila, fall completely away from the derech emes. On the other hand, there's another Indian person says, a person has to also serve the Eibishter with a certain, like the Chazal tell us, a certain shminish of gaiva. You have to have a big amunas atzmi. You have to say, no, Chazal tell me already, b'shvili nivra oilo. All world's for me. Everything out there is for me. One second, but if everything's out there for me, I can come to a big guy, I can come to a makom where I'm making big mistakes. I can come to a makom where I think that I'm the greatest. I'm the best davener, the best learner, the biggest balmidas, and I'm even the biggest honor. Wow, the person's mamish convincing himself he has all the right characteristics, because I got to serve. If I don't have this, then I'm going to be chas v'chalila. I'm not going to believe my avoid. I'm not going to do anything. So the person chas v'chalila on the other side, there's also a big sakana, because if I have to believe my avoid, and I have to believe that my Torah is worth something, well, I can mamish come to convincing myself that I'm at the highest levels. So the Torah comes to a person and says, listen, you can't be shiftless. No, there's two Yetzer Haras. One guy comes to you and says, no, you're shiftless, you have to know you're nothing, Torah is not worth anything. Fine. So I'd say, I'll go to the other narrative. I'm not going to learn anything. No, you have to learn. You do have to learn, because you're mamish the Talmud Chacham of the generation. You are the davener of the whole world. And the person's like, you're right. And I'm mamish. So what do we do? The Torah doesn't let me, not from Yamin, not from Shmuel, not from up, not from down. Everywhere I want to go, he's ruining my avodah. One place is telling me my avodah is not worth anything, and the other place is telling me mamish and seer avodah mamish. So the Heilige Yoshua Divrei Emes gives us over, and this is really spoken about in a lot of svarim. And Avad, the whole Talmid Baal Shem Tov, and Avad Nachman also has, as I know it's discussed by Riches, the Nakuda of as is the Kedusha, but at the same time there's a certain way for a person has to know twofold. This saves us from all of the babulim, and that is when I serve the Eibishter, betmimus ubepshitas, Maman Shemoy, B'Yahava, for the sake of heaven. I'm serving the Eibishter to be with Pshitas, the Yetzer Hara cannot come and break that away from me. Why? Because when he comes to tell me that, you're avodah, who are you to serve the Eibishter? Who are you? Your avodah is worthless. 100% I'm asking. You're right. But that's if I'd be serving because of myself. But I have to serve the Eibishter. because the Eibishter said so. This I'm doing for him. So it could be you're right that I'm mamish the worst guy in the world and I shouldn't be doing any mitzvahs. But Lamaisa, the Eibishter says, I got to do it. And then the other side, the Yitzhak says, no, you're mamish. You got to serve the Eibishter because your mitzvahs are the most chashuv in the world. Wow, you know. No, I don't have to believe so. Because Nachamo, it's not about my mitzvah being the greatest. It's not about my Torah story being the most, authentic. It's about one Indian. It's about them serving the Eibishter. So therefore, when a Yid goes and serves the Eibishter with that safe territory, that middle line, I'm not going to the right, I'm not going to the left, I'm not going to where I'm shiftless and I'm not worth anything. And I'm not going on the other side where I'm thinking about, I'm serving now the Eibishter because the Eibishter said I have to serve him. You're going to tell me that it's worth something big in heaven? Mamush, my Torah is the greatest? All right. That's what you tell me. Shkoich, I appreciate it. You're going to tell me my avodah is garbage? My avodah? Fine. So you might think like that. Okay. And I'm with you on that too. Lamaisa now, the Eibishter said to them, now the Eibishter said to learn. Now the Eibishter said after feeding, but I'm serving the Eibishter. My intention is to mimus pshitas. My intention is because I'm serving the Eibishter. Laman, that this is what I have to do. So therefore, when the Yitzhak is going to start with all different nice cheshbonos, all right, we'll work it out another time. The Metzia says the avoid that I'm doing now, I'm doing because the Eibishter said. What happens? And then the Yosher Rebbe says something powerful. He says this avoid just breaks through everything. It goes through because why? Because when a person serves the Eibishter between us and B'pshitas, Pashat from the Eibishter to Zogeis, the Eibishter said to serve him, to do this mitzvah, not to do that Aveira. And all of a sudden we all know that every mitzvah gets done, it gets judged. Yeah? I'm very shocked already.
Is that your old Rebbe?
Yeah. So the Nakuda is like this, that a Yid can think like this. I mean, there's sometimes the mitzvah gets done. The person did a mitzvah, he did it with mamish no emunah satzmi. You know that the Torah talk about. There's emunah and the Eibishter, there's emunah tzaddikim, and there's self-belief, emunah atzmi. And he can't have one without the other. Person thinks that he's mamish garbage. That's not real emunah. Person mamish believes that he's garbage. How could you be mavayish? You know who you are? You're a bit melech. You have a neshama. Person that thinks he's mamish garbage. That's not your thing. That's not your Indian. Yeah. That's not your Indian. It's not your Indian. It's not your right to think of yourself as something garbage. Yeah. Because it's not true. A Yid has tremendous self-worth. Every single Yid has by himself huge koiches. That's not even yours. It's the Eibishter. We all know that Chazal give us a tremendous example about the neshama and the guf. Now, what's thinking the neshama and the guf? The neshama and the guf is that the Eibishter lent us a piece of himself. The Eibishter lent us a piece of himself. The Eibishter gave us a pikodon. That's what Chazal call it. He gave us a pikodon. This right above Matzim, above Makam, we have a shomer. We're a shomer for the Eibishter. Some person says, "I'm not worth anything. I'm a shegit." What? With sugar? What are you being mavazin? Not being mavazin yourself. You wasn't the Eibishter's chayfetz. You have a neshama kedosha. Who are you to decide that you're worthless? Chas v'shalom. Because you're a shomer of a pikodon, and that pikodon is a piece of God Himself. That's the most worth. It's priceless. It's the most worth thing in the world, meaning it's worth so much. Ain't soif levels. Person has no right. At the other hand, a person mamish therefore has to have that koiches that when I'm serving the Eibishter through that koich that I'm a ben melech, through that koich that I have a neshama, through that koich that the Eibishter entrusted me with a piece of himself to bring and shine out this light to the world. Now, yes, I could rule it by thinking that I am somebody so big and so great. It's like the fellow that is a gabbai tzedakah, nothing more than a gabbai tzedakah. He has a paid job. He maybe gets $25 an hour if he's lucky. His job is he was chosen by Episode Grace Hoisha that he can give out the checks for somebody. Yeah, now this guy is so convinced he's giving out the big checks. comes to Besmedish, he expects Mamish, the Russian Cole's seat, he Mamish represent, I don't even have to give that the checks. Yeah, buddy, but all you give the checks. That's not your money. You have a call money to give my shit. Yeah, how do you have here? Just got a little job. It's not your money. Yeah? Zelmazach, a person comes and Mamish thinks himself the biggest Malgaiva, that, wow, you know who I am? You're a shomer of a pikon. That's what you are. That means that I'm using the pikon as the neshama. Yeah, that you're the shimer. It's not that you are epis mamish and you're epis garnish. But the Eibishter gave you, so when I come to serve the Eibishter, I have on one hand that I'm not allowed to think myself as anything because you know what I'm doing? I'm serving the Eibishter through the koichos of taka of a pekad and amiti of a neshama kadosh, which is the most infinite thing in the world. But at the same time, to start thinking that me, I'm the Greis Amacher, then already you're starting to mess with the Eibishter Zach. You think, no, you taka are better. You have and you're the nefesh Bahamis, you have the nefesh Elokis. When you start thinking that your whole chelik, the nefesh Bahamis, when it's not worked out, kedaboyi, when it's not worked out, taka to be uplifted in holiness, you start thinking that this is the level of the neshama. That's when you start messing up. That's where a person starts. That's the problem with Gaiva. But when he understands that chelik, so we started saying like this. So therefore, there's an akuda when the mitzvah, he does a mitzvah, he daven a tefillah. So now the tefillah has to go up. As it's going up, it's got to go through barricades, it's got to go through the malachim, it's got to go through all the way until it reaches the kisei hakavod. That's the idea. It says you down the binyan, a koichav tzibur breaks through. Person davens with a leif nishmar, person davens mamish for behemis. It breaks. There's certain akudas to break through this. But first, the yid davens, it goes through. So if a yid davens and he chaps that the nekuta that he's doing this mitzvah, whatever mitzvah it is mamish laman Hashem. So as it goes up in the first stop, it's like, okay, let's dissect this fellow's mitzvah. That's it's even worth it. If they see that, 1 second, this mitzvah was done without anything else besides the tamimis pshitas of the sake of the mitzvah, so there's nothing to be able to be done. The mitzvah comes up and it's like, okay, this thing, he means mamish the Eibishter. Goes weiter. Next, goes weiter. It reaches the kisei hakavod because there's nothing to be done. It's not, the guy didn't make any cheshbonos before he did the mitzvah of, wow, me, myself, or the mitzvah becomes so pure, a person serves between some pshitas. Yes, I'm not having a shmak in the mitzvah, but I'm so excited to do the mitzvahs. I'm so happy the Eibishter picked me to be able to do the Mekayim mitzvahs too. I'm so excited the Eibishter gave me the opportunity to be Mekayim Tarek mitzvahs. I'm so happy that the Eibishter is the one that gave me this opportunity. So it's completely Eibishter related. It's a mitzvah that this is Noki. It's a mitzvah which was menufel. It's considered like it was mamish. It's clean from all sides of any gaiva, any penia, because I did it for the sake of having to break through. Rather, chas v'chalila, when a person comes and starts making cheshbonos, so then they start playing around. You make cheshbonos, we'll make cheshbonos. The mitzvah comes up, they say, let's see this fellow. Oh man, this fellow mamish, he did such a chana to the mitzvah. We see in that chana, he mamish went himself. The whole chana, he felt so good. Well, I'm telling you, my mitzvah probably is going to create such malachim. My mitzvah, my mitzvah is probably such a chef and an achashruach. Probably all the malachim are waiting over there to see my mitzvah. Wow, what a chana. The guy's mamish bakgaivening and making his mitzvah completely something which has nothing to do with the sake of heaven. It has to be completely because of his sake of his own essence. That mitzvah doesn't even make it out of the building. Like the Baal Shem Tov said one time, he came to a certain city and he came to daven in the shul. And Mamish, he davened there. He had big avodah to make in the shul. And the Talmid was saw him a tremendous avodah. And he asked, Talmidim asked Baal Shem Tov, like, what was going on by that tefillah? Baal Shem Tov said, I walked into this Medrash, I saw that this Medrash at tefillah never went up anyway. All the tefillahs stuck in this Medrash. I had to sit and clean out all the tefillahs and be menaking them in order that it should be raised up to heaven. That means that there's a mitzvah. Sometimes a person at the whole mitzvah, there's another time a person does a mitzvah completely with a lack of belief in the mitzvah. He's doing the mitzvah not for the sake of heaven. Anything that he's mamish, he's convinced that, I'm doing the mitzvah, such as shiftless as sheker, but the shiftless himself that is doing the mitzvah of shiftless is also resigned to the mitzvah. Mamish, there's a mitzvah when a person does the mitzvah that has shiftless and has the right to everything, because achna is also very important. Achna is the midah. That midah, the heilige, who was it? I think the Emes brings down from the heilige Maggid of Besrich. He says Taich in the pasuk Toiv Hashem Lakoil. Maybe I'm mixing up two different words. Okay, we'll bring that in soon. But what he says, the midah v'achna is a midah which is very, very important, Taka. But the midah v'achna does not mean shiflish or sheker. Midah v'achna means I'm being machniya myself to the mitzias amitas of the Eibishter, and therefore when I serve and I'm doing this mitzvah, that's my achna. Doing it l'shem the mitzvah, l'shem the Eibishter does mitzvahs, l'shem yichud kutsh b'yichud shchintay. That itself is achna. There's different levels. There's mitzias avadim, Avraham Avinu, Moshe Rabbeinu, Nachnu Ma, and Rabbi Avinu said Enoch Yofer Ve'efer, but at the same time it says Moshe Rabbeinu knew exactly who he was, right? It says Daber Pel Pek V'yochel Yebish 40 days and 40 nights. That means there's a mitzias of shiftless and achna, which is completely not a steerer to the mitzias of mitzias of still having self-belief to understand the greatness. They say the famous thing, I think Shlomo Gezula says it, but other tzaddikim also say it. Now, how was it that Moshe Rabbeinu was able to be Anav Mikol Adam? How is Moshe Rabbeinu able to be the greatest Adam in the world? Moshe Rabbeinu knew that there wasn't any other singular person in the history of the universe that went up to heaven for 40 days and 40 nights to learn Torah, but from the Eibishter. And also, I mean, that's how could you believe that you're the lowest key? I mean, you know the Metzias. You didn't find anybody else up there. Nobody else joined this Chavrusa after 40 days and 40 nights with the Eibishter. But you really believe that every kid is before you is better than you? So they say the famous Gavaldi Gemara, they say that's the opposite. It's because Moshe Rabbeinu was in heaven 40 days and 40 nights. He saw the Shuir of Klal Yisrael of every single yid. He saw that where every yid comes from. He was like, wow, he came back down. He didn't think, wow, I was only the only guy up there. He was like, wow, I know where you come from. You know who you are. I saw the Maila Yeshayr, you are. Imamish. He recognized that he was the only person that spoke and learned with the Eibishter 40 days away. But at the same time, he recognized the greatness and potential from every single yid because he saw the Maila, the Shoyers where he came down with such a chma. He's like, oh boy, I have to be mechaber every single fellow over here. I have to love every single yid. I have to be mechaber every single yid because I recognize the chashivas of every single yid and the greatness of every single yid and the potential of every single yid that he was able to see while he was there 40 days and 40 nights. And therefore, the Nekuda that we're bringing out tonight was the Nekuda Chashuva Admoid. And this is very, very important in the Avodas HaTshuva that we've been discussing in the Avodah of Kedusha. And I'll tell you why. We'll wrap it up with this. A Yid is in Shoivavim, trying to be Masakim, the Avodas, trying to be Hailing, trying to be a real Yid, David to the Eibishter. Now, a Yid, until he's covered over and mamish with the matzev on top of him, it says even after I die, right? It says till the day I die, right? The person has to believe and that the Yitzhar is still right. Don't believe in himself, right? Until the day he dies. Why? Because the Yitzhar still works on him as he's going to the grave. But he says, the Yitzhar is very powerful too. So he's going to want to do some tshuva. He's going to want to do some tshuva. And everyone wants to serve him something. He knows the mitzvah is so fine, very nice. And for right now, I'm going to be zocheh to tshuva. But I know I have my down moments. I know I have mitzvahs and that I fall, and I know the Yitzhar is going to come to me. So why is it even kedai for me to do tshuva right now? The Yitzhar is going to come, and later he's going to knock me down, and who knows what's in store for me later. So the Yitzhar comes right now, he is about to make a Aschalos HaTshuva, or in continuation, and he tries to nip it right away in the Aschalos HaTshuva to give this person the belief that you cannot do tshuva, and your tshuva is mamish garbage, because very nice, and now you make yourself chatav and yishim shati, but I know in a day or two, Hashem Yerachim, what sins might come your way. And I've seen it in my history. I do tshuva, and then I'm always having to do tshuva. I do tshuva, and I have to do more tshuva. So I might as well just have to do tshuva at the end on a whole package deal instead of like paying my bills slowly. But that is sheker v'chazif. That is baloni sheba baloni mamish, not true. Why is that? First of all, the moment a Yid does tshuva and he means it l'shem shemayim, right now, he becomes so heilig. He's zoichet to such a chef of kedusha. He's zoichet to such a chef of eskarvis to the Eibishter. We don't think in this Indian when it comes to coming back to the Eibishter, but what will be in the future. Chas v'chalila. Chas v'chalila. A Yid has to think in the now. Right now, where am I holding? Right now, I want to be close to the Eibishter. And yes, I'm convinced that tomorrow I'll beat the Yitzhar again. That's not for my fight now. My fight is right now for the moment. And he has to believe that he has the full koyach and the full capacity. That right now when I'm machniya, and I'm machniya the Yitzhar, and I'm zoiche to make a move in Kedusha, and to be mekabel myself to be a better Yid and Erlich Yid, to be mekabel myself to be a holier fellow, at the moment right now, the Metzias is that there's a tremendous chef of Kedusha and Mechikas Averis, and it's a tremendous moment. It's mamish for real. A person has to understand that every moment that we're living, that we fight the Yitzhar and we're successful, is a victory under us. I think I said the story over here in the past from the Heilige Reb Shlomo Kaliner. Reb Shlomo Kaliner said, you know what the difference? This was in his times. How much more now? When he was already a big rabbi, he was already a big mashpia. The famous quote from the Heilige Reb Shlomo Kaliner, but it's so important. Chazer it's coming very stark into the Nakuda that we're speaking now. He said, you know what the difference between the previous Doris and this Doris? Meaning his Doris. He said, when we were Yuga Light, he said, when we were Yuga Light, and we used to have to come to the Besmedrash, and we used to leave our house and walk through the street and come to the Besmedrash, and we came into the doors of the shul, and we were able to open up our eyes and say, Chavra, I got to Besmedrash and I didn't see anything else. We used to stand up and dance together. Ashreinu, Zechinu. I made it from my house to the Besmedrash, and I didn't see anything I shouldn't have had to. And the whole hell broke into horror. I lived to harbor Ali Elohim, and I was mamash simcha. He says today people don't even believe in that Nakuda. We don't chap the godless. Today he says that's what he said then. Imagine today we don't understand the godless of what it means. Reb Shlomo Kaliner said that they were zoiche when he went. Reb Shlomo Kaliner, can you imagine Shlomo Kaliner saying probably who knows? They said Shlomo Kaliner, he knew the like Shlomo HaMelech, he knew the languages of the birds and that they say. About Shlomo Kaliner was such a great tzaddik, he knew everything. You think his Messiah from his house in the state, who knows where, Kalin, when all the babuchkas were wearing tichels from who knows, they were probably covered in burkas the goyim, and they went from their house to the shul, and they still sat and danced, and they're still so excited. Today, every single yid, every little move that we make, like we know from the Heilige Yisrael, the time of Achule, it literally breaks the koich of the Yitzhar. It smashes it. It mamish is machniya the koich hara. And we have to believe be'emes in that kedusha. We have to believe in the simcha that there's in all the elements. Tzavshat, there's no guy in there. Tzavshat, well, I didn't cause nothing. I'm a yid that has a Yitzhar that's live and kicking, and he's fighting me the whole time, but I'm fighting back. And I'm walking, and I'm going to the shul, I'm going to wherever I'm going, and there's an asayin, and I'm mamish being this gamer. At that moment, I have to believe that in Shemayim, this Taka Rash Godel, they're so excited that a year, in our generation, Kamam should be excited as in Kedusha. I'm sorry, I David Geschmack, at least part of the Rebbe says. Sometimes the person is in the middle of davening, and he's like, hey, I lost half the davening, or I should have concentrated from the beginning to the end. There's a lot of Shalom from Chafetz Chaim. Chafetz Chaim says the marshal about the apples in the market, that the guy kicked his bucket, somebody was selling apples in the market, the bucket fell over and all the apples are running away. Don't be ashamed, at least pick up the bucket, at least whatever you have in it, you will survive. You'll have a few apples to sell. Yeah? But the Nakuda is that even more than that, and the Nakuda that Nachman says is that the Eibush already decides where everybody has to have his lahavas and his davening. Fine, a person came with the right, he made a chana for the davening. We have to try to make the best mitzvah we can do. But I'm also gatenish. But sometimes in the middle, it might be in the third brach, all of a sudden I have full concentration. So that's a maton from the Eibush. You know what? Baruch Hashem, this is maybe the Eibush wants me to concentrate now. Not to be, here all of a sudden I'm concentrating, but I missed Unazon, I missed the whole Hashem. It doesn't make a difference. Every moment that we do have, that we can captivate, we can chap, we have to appreciate the maton from the Eibush. We have to build on that. We have to suddenly machniya. What's going to be in the future? That is not my business. Who knows if I'll even be alive in the future? I don't even know. Who says there won't be a future? Ich weiß nicht. Jetzt weiß ich that I'm living. Right now is the moment of the fight. And if I'm a tzliach, I have to be so excited. I have to understand and appreciate, believe, this is the Tmimis and Pshitas. That is Mekayim Rotzen HaBoyre. something steam with me, my shiftless. That's all gewaldig. We'll handle that. We'll pile it up. But right now, they serve the Eibishter, and I'm a kaim, and I'm a tzlich to serve the Eibishter. After being mine, and I'm going to shleim in the simcha that I was zeicha, and that tzlacha that I was zeicha to. This is the tmims of Shitas, and this gives us koich to go weiter. But you're allowed to be proud of yourself. Why? Because, but anyway, if a guy does a good job, a guy that's a shomer sacha for somebody, and he gives back afterwards the pikadon, and the guy says, wow, thank you did a good job. Yes, I did. Thank you so much. You appreciate it. And he understands that I was going to fight the Sahara. That's not gaiva. That's not anything. A person has a lot of have. I'm so happy. It's a simcha shel mitzvah. I'm happy I was able to serve you. I was happy I was able to be a good shomer and you become. Sometimes, listen, I made a mistake. Sometimes I have to write and tell the Eibishter. One job, I wanted to do a good job. Mistake happened. Please forgive me. I'll try better next time. Regular, that's okay. If I can't, I regret it. I didn't do a good job now. Next time, I'm going to do a better job. I promise you, I'm going to chazak myself and avoid it. I'm trying to do the best I could. Person, Maimon in his self. Maimon is the kuda that is chuvas chashu with the Eibishter. Every step of the chuvas chashu with the Eibishter, he's matzliach in becoming an ehrlich yid. And then lamaisa, ma'ila mola, it's stepping on steps to get higher, greater, closer to the Eibishter. And eventually we matzliach to reach the highest levels. And we matzliach in getting close to the Eibishter be'emes, with the simcha, the oinem, the dveges amitius. Amen, amen.